What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the JoeyH podcast. And today we got our sports analysis show. With me, as always, for this show, Lucas. How are you?
I'm good, bro. How are you doing?
I cannot complain. I've been in a slump. I know my fans will get on me. But your boy is back. I'm back from the dead. And where I've been, that's a story for another. But anyways, um, let's dive in real quick. This episode is mainly just going to be about the NFL draft because obviously a lot
A lot to talk about. A lot to talk about.
a lot of great players got drafted. But first and foremost, we got to start out with the first pick, Cam Ward, Miami's own. Lucas, how'd you feel, man?
Honestly, pretty good. He deserved it. Definitely deserved it. And I mean, I obviously he's a Canes fan. I mean, obviously he's a Miami Canes player. So there's that. But honestly, he's a really cool quarterback. He's a really good quarterback. I can't deny his talent at all. He's definitely rightfully so. Yeah, 0-star recruit coming out of high school. Played for a pretty not good team, but he went to college, played ball in college, kept his head down, chin up, kept moving forward, and now he's the number one overall pick in the NFL draft. So I can't deny talent, and he's one heck of a talent.
Yes. Tennessee actually decided to, well, not them personally, one of their former players, Warren Moon, unretired his number one jersey, and now Cam Ward, as a Tennessee Titan, will be wearing number one next season.
Wow.
Yes, obviously, very, very awesome accomplishment.
Very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, just like his father told him, you're a motivation to all the 0-stars out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I want to make an emphasis because I'll be honest, when I was in high school, I focused a lot on stars and rankings and all that
Everybody,
kind of stuff.
you get caught up in it. You get caught up in it.
You do, most definitely, like 24/7 sports and all that, and like, listen, no knock on any of those websites at all.
No.
On
Max
three,
Prep,
yeah, it's all good. However, I will say personally, if you look at just like where guys are now, 5 years down the line, it's different. And I'll be honest, the first time I really thought about stars was Zay Flowers. He's talking about how he was not heavily recruited coming out of high school. He went to Boston College, and then he became a first-round draft pick with the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm.
And I really just got to thinking, like, wow, like this is something different. Like, and then I saw a video the other day, and it just painted the picture perfectly. Cam Ward, 0-stars coming out of high school, right?
Yeah.
And then DJU, right, was a 5-star recruit from St. John Bosco. And both of these players have gone to 3 colleges. Okay? And
both of them got drafted last night. Or not last night, but both of them got drafted.
DJU got drafted?
By the Chargers.
Well, I thought he went undrafted, and then he got signed.
Maybe he went undrafted, but both of them are in the NFL now.
Well, I mean, it's hard for me to imagine. No offense to DJU. It's hard for me to imagine that he would have got drafted, judging by the fact that he only played 5 games last year. So, but if he did, I know he's going to the Chargers. He's back in his hometown of Los Angeles, so good for him. Now, the second pick, the Cleveland Browns originally had this pick. Took me completely by surprise.
Everybody got surprised. I think everybody got surprised. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, they got trade. They traded their pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who in turn drafted the Heisman Trophy winner from last year, Travis Hunter. And as soon as he got drafted, I knew they're going to let him play both sides next
By
year.
far. By far.
Yes. Now, however, I will say, and look, I don't know Travis personally. I know a few of his teammates, whether that would like that he's played with, whether that would be, 7-on-7 or Colorado. I will say, no disrespect to Travis, but I think personally, I think he should prioritize being a DB
Mm-hmm.
first. And then as far as certain packages go on the offensive side of the ball, I think he should be
Like a
the
what?
second or third
I was
receiver
about
on
to
the
say
depth
like
chart.
wide receiver 3 or 2.
Yeah. That's that to me, I feel like if the Jaguars can pull that off, especially with the power that Trevor Lawrence has, and you know, Brian Thomas was borderline the best rookie wide receiver last year. I think if they put Brian Thomas at wide receiver one, I think they'll do wonders next year.
Do
It's
just
it's going
fine.
to be
Yeah,
insane.
their offense will do just fine.
Yeah, of course. But Lucas, what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you think that Travis should prioritize being a DB first or being a wide receiver first?
I think he's going to want to be a wide receiver first because everybody wants to score points. And now that he has the option, he has a team that's going to allow him to do that option. I think he's going to try to prioritize being the wide receiver first. But I think you're correct. I think you should. I think you should try to just stick to being a defensive back first because he's super good at his defense is. He's so on point with it. He's so on
Mm-hmm.
point. So, and the Jaguars defense is not as good as their offense. So, trying to stop the opponent's ball, that's just as important as scoring the points. So I think you're
Mm-hmm.
correct.
All right. Now, thirdly, we have a crazy moment in the draft. So I want to emphasize with everyone. I watched the first, second, and third round, except to go walk my dog, like basically from start to finish. Um, and there was a real. But I did follow the whole thing. When I wasn't watching it, I was on my phone tracking the draft. Um, for rounds 1, 2, and 3, I was paying attention, seeing where everyone was going to go. Um, First and foremost, it was tragic, so to say. It's very tragic. With the 21st pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon from Oregon, and he talked about his mom and his mom is his why. Um, he was not actually at the draft in Green Bay. His mom, back in Detroit, um, his mom had been hospitalized, had been very ill as of recent. His mom is paralyzed on the left side of her body, and that night he got drafted, he got to go to the hospital and tell his mom that he got drafted. Shortly after, however, unfortunately, she did pass away. Um, so rest in peace to Derek Carmen's mom.
Rest in peace. Send the prayers. Send the prayers.
Of course. And I mean, to me, that's it's very tragic, but it's just, I don't know. To me, like that just, I don't know. Like,
One of those things, like you got drafted, you made it to the NFL.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
It's bittersweet. That's what it is. It's
Very,
very
very
like, and like I don't know how Derek Harmon, is really, um like I really do feel bad for him. My heart breaks for him because this is really one of the biggest moments of his life. And then literally a couple hours later, his mother passes away. And that just goes to show you, to all the viewers watching, I know this is a sports show, but take this advice. Life is life is crazy, man.
touch fast.
And you can be up and then you can be down. But but Derek Harmon, it seems like he's very much taking this in stride, and he is going to push forward and use his mother as his motivation, as he always has. So again, rest in peace to Derek Harmon's mom. We are definitely sending prayers to that man. And then
Peace.
someone who I was high on last year, Jalen Milroe. Um, he was drafted day 2 to the Seattle Seahawks. He was in attendance on day 1 of the draft. However, he was not picked up. However, he is going to Seattle, and he will be the backup to Sam Darnold. Lucas, how do you feel about this, man?
That's good. Under Sam Darnold, that's a pretty that's a good quarterback to fall behind. He'll definitely learn from something from Sam Darnold. The Seahawks, I feel like they just lost Smith, so they're trying to replace him a little bit. I feel like so Sam Darnold, veteran quarterback, could probably take him under his wing and show him a few things, and then in a year or two he'll be starting.
All right, all right.
That's a solid pick. I'm excited to see how he does in the league.
Most definitely. Now, last of my personal favorite is a guy who I personally thought should have won the Heisman last year. No disrespect to Travis, I just felt like he should have won it. Ashton Genty
Ashton
ran
Genty,
for
Raiders.
ran for over 2,000 yards last year. Oh my goodness, that man is
Unbelievable.
unbelievable. Yeah, Boise State too. You know, Boise State is probably one of the best non-power 4 programs in history. And I know people will say, "Oh, well, he was in the Mountain West Conference and he was, doing this and doing that." But I don't know. It's just
2,000 yards. 2,000 yards. Why isn't anybody else doing it then?
I
Like,
know. Like, I'm sorry, you don't get 2,000 yards just for doing nothing.
yeah, for playing in the Mountain West Conference, that doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
college football. It's college
And
football. And he's putting up 2,000 yards.
and let's not forget, Boise State played Oregon in Eugene last year. They marched into Eugene and they lost by only 3 points. So let's not.
Yeah.
Well, and Oregon went to the Rose Bowl last year. So let's not get too excited, people. Let's not get too excited. Now, Lucas, any personal favorites of yours that got drafted?
Not any necessarily personal favorites, I would say, but I did notice something over the draft. A lot of linemen were drafted pretty early, and I noticed that, and I thought to myself that that's the league's moving in a certain direction right now. A lot of teams are starting to realize they need to protect their quarterbacks, and a lot of quarterbacks need time right now. A lot of quarterbacks, maybe not be great in the pocket, or a lot of defenses are looking good, or whatever the coaches and GMs are thinking. But I noticed a lot of linemen, especially like tackles, guards, not so many, maybe not so many edge rushers. I didn't notice many edge rushers, but I saw a lot of I didn't see many centers either. But yeah, a lot of tackles, a lot of guards getting drafted, and I just thought that was something super cool. I thought that was really cool and super interesting to see.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Will Campbell went fourth to the Patriots. Desperately needed, I will say. I think Mr. Kraft made a well, I mean, I know he's not the one that directly makes the decision, but I feel like he played a part in that. Patriots made a great decision with Will. They need to protect the quarterback, Drake May. Um, Drake is an amazing talent. However, with the new coach that's coming in, Mike Vrabel, who played under Bill Belichick, I know there's a I feel like they were, as long as Mr. Kraft is around, there will always be a Belichick connection in New England. Nothing wrong with that. Obviously 6 Super Bowls, but there was another person that played a role in that. His name is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. I think that's his full name. Anyways, yes, desperately needed. And I'm excited. Will is Will's a beast, man. His days at LSU, and one thing that he emphasized in a press conference recently. Do you remember Lucas, in 2022, Florida State, they played LSU in New Orleans?
I do remember that in the Thunderdome. I remember that. What is that one?
Superdome.
Not the Thunderdome. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. But yes, in the Superdome in New Orleans, basically a home game for LSU. However, I will say about that game, he said, "You go look at my first ever play at college football." He said, "I got my face ran through." And I believe the person that ran through his face was Jared Verse from who is dominating the Rams right now.
Dominating. That's a scary person to get ran out.
Yes, and Will's a true freshman, but he's like, I got thrown in the fire. I had to live up to it, and not to mention about Will. Another thing about him, which is really cool, he also said in that same press conference, what we strive for here at LSU in the O-line room is that if a D lineman gets one sack for at least one sack for 12 games straight, there's 12 games in a regular season, he'll be a top 5 pick. But if you're an O-line and you give up one sack a game,
you're not even drafted.
12 games, he said, you'll work at Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
drafted.
That's why, I know a lot of people watch football different ways. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be O-line. I like it when a running back gets the ball, a lineman or a tight end or someone just comes and absolutely just trucks someone, gets the block, creates a perfect lane. I love
that. That's poetry in motion right there.
Absolutely. I love, and one of my favorite running backs that would, allow the O-line to basically do that, and people would make fun of him, was Le'Veon Bell when he was with the Steelers. He'd just get the ball and he wouldn't take off immediately. He would just kind of stand back there in the pocket. Yeah. And I like that personally. But Lucas, I'll ask you that. How do you personally when you're watching football, as far as offense goes, what do you pay attention to the most?
I'm always paying attention to the quarterback. I'm paying attention on because in my opinion, I feel like the quarterback needs to be a general. You need to be the guy, kind of, because you are the guy. You need to, in the matter of 5 seconds, you need to look at where every receiver is, look out where the edge rushers are, somehow look behind your back to make sure your blind side is covered in the matter of like 5 seconds. So that right there, and then complete like a perfect pass, that right there is it for me.
I got you. Yeah, it's like now as far as like specific plays go,
like a perfect little slant route, just 15, 20 yards out there and just throw a dime, get past the defense in the pocket. Perfect.
Okay. Like my personal favorite, I'll be honest, is play action. They fake it to the running back, quarterback drops back in the pocket, and he has a wide receiver going a long post route, and he just slings it like 50, 60 yards down the field. Like dude, like I love that's like my favorite play of football.
Yeah.
Like I used to, I still do watch a lot of SEC ball, and I do remember them doing that, frequently in the SEC. Whenever like that would happen, especially in the first quarter to open out the game, like just play action, drop back, and they just sling it right down the field, and I'm like, because at that point it's usually like 1-on-1, maybe 1-on-2, and I'm like, damn, like this could go one of two ways. I'm sorry, one of three ways. He's gonna catch it, run for a touchdown. He's gonna get it intercepted, or it's just gonna be incomplete. And like to me, like that small like 1 or 2 seconds, it's like the craziest feeling. You know what I mean? Craziest feeling. That's going to cap it off for this episode, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm back from the dead, like I said again. Lucas, thank you so much for doing this, man. And yeah, have a great day, everyone.